Thank you.
Okay. The next person on the list. Sophia.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Aklari Sophia Walewa, a data analyst. I studied statistics. So I hope to go into machine learning.
Okay, thank you. Then Maria.
Okay, hi, good evening, everyone. Sorry, I can't share my picture face at this moment. Um, my name is Maria, and I have a background in microbiology, but I've kind of lost interest. So data science catches my interest right now. So I recently transitioned. I'm barely 4 months in my new space in the tech space, and I'm still learning and I have a lot to learn. For interest, I've not really given it a thought because I'm still in my preliminaries. But
So you're
I know
still exploring.
I'm still exploring, yes. But I know I really want to go beyond the analytics part of it, maybe into data science and probably data engineering. With the way the thing is going, it's catching my interest. Thank you.
But I don't know. You shouldn't lose interest in microbiology. There is a way you can combine your background with data science and analytics.
Uh, the thing is, before I transitioned, I was actually trying to learn, but you know the Nigerians, and when will tech come into that space? So instead of waiting for tech to come into your space, you rather move into
To take.
tech space. So maybe outside Nigeria, there's a way to combine it, but as far as I know in Nigeria, it's not working. And then genomics, where it's currently interwoven, it's not my interest. Otherwise, I would have gone into genomics.
What about bioinformatics?
Bioinformatics, yes, I have an interest in informatics, but in the health aspect of it.
And that will be public
Probably
health.
outside of Nigeria, not the Nigeria is not supporting us.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Martins.
Thank you.
Mr. Martins, if you're having problem with your mic, you can just put it on the chat box. Then Moni. Hello. Mr. Muhammad Owola. Hello. Then Oluwatoyin.
Good evening, everyone.
Okay, good evening. We can hear you.
My name is studying electrical engineering.
Hello.
So, yeah,
Can you start again, please?
I said my name is Idol
Okay.
student of Obafemi Awolowo,
Okay.
studying electrical engineering. So, so my interest in artificial intelligence, ML and artificial intelligence is to be used in the aspect of biomedicals. So, I'm looking forward to specialize in that aspect of biomedicals. So, that's just the few.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that with us. Then Oyindamola.
Yes, please. Good evening. Is that me?
Yeah, you're the one.
Sorry, I didn't get what the question
Just a
was.
brief introduction. This, yeah, you can see the screen, right? You can your name, your location. Then, yeah, are you student or working? Then, what part in the data science are you interested in?
Oh, okay. Um, my name is Jimo Indamala, and I'm in Lagos. I'm working in a data annotation. I work with a data annotation company, and actually, I'm still indecisive. So I'm like in between data analysis and data science.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mohammed Awala, can you hear us? And Moyi, the same thing with Martins. Martin Olongomoyo. Okay, you can just start with the class anytime they're available. So today is just the career talk. The first thing is it's good to pick a particular place, a particular path where you're interested. For me myself, I'm trying to find my own path too. Like, what do I like best? What do I know best? So there are different parts of it. If you're someone that is comfortable with coding, and if you're not comfortable with coding, you can decide to be a data analyst. You can decide to be a business analyst or business intelligence analyst. Being a data analyst, the tools we'll be needing for that is when you know Power BI to some extent, then you can make use of Excel. Then you have to be there are a lot of people that are they are working as an analyst, they don't know anything about coding and they are doing very fine. So these are the three tools. There are a lot of them actually, but these are the ones that I'm more comfortable with. Then if you're someone that like coding, you want to go into machine learning, data engineering, data science. So there are different career professional roles there. You have data scientist, you have data, this is supposed to be data engineer. You have data engineer. Data scientist is just writing code, getting information from data. But data engineer is getting data, getting it ready for analysis. Then you must know about cloud computing as well. Then we have machine learning engineer. Machine learning engineer, they are the one that puts all this, you build a model, or they are the one that put the model into production. Then we have database administrator. Database administrator, they are the people that make sure that the database is available anytime a data set is required. They are the one that provide such data sets, and they are the one that make sure they are the one that guarantee the quality of data. Then we have database manager. Database manager and database administrator, the two of them are very close. The difference is just the database administrator, they give access. For example, we have an organization, a lot of people are working. They are the one that give access and restrict access. For example, maybe you are just joined the company, you are not supposed to have access to some data in the company yet until you get to a particular level in the organization. Then after after that, you showcase your project. Like, people will be like, I just started, I don't have any project yet. We started with the project one whereby you were asked to create a data frame on your own. You can make that one as a project on your own. Okay. One thing, anytime you work on a project, make sure you know every detail of the project, like from the starting point to the end. For example, the first project, okay. For example, if I want to explain what I did, I'll say, okay, I was given a project to work to create a data frame of my own, analyze the data, do some data cleaning and engineering, then converted the data frame from just ordinary data frame to a CSV file. So that's the first project. You can explain the process, how you started, how you go about the project. Then you collaborate. For example, you are someone that can build a machine learning algorithm. Then there's someone else that can deploy. For example, you build a fraud detection algorithm, a model that detects if a transaction is going to be fraudulent or not. As a data scientist, normally maybe you don't know about deployment. You just build the model, you have it on your local machine. So you should try to collaborate with someone that is doing data engineering or machine learning engineers to put the project into production. So that anytime people check it, they will see that it is live, it is working perfectly online. Then another thing, no matter what you know, there are a lot of people that don't know what you know. So you just try to teach whatever you know. Don't think that I don't know anything, I just started. It's not like that. Whatever you know, just try to teach people. It will make you learn more. Then there are a lot there are a lot of people in your specific niche where you've picked. Maybe you should have someone you are looking up to, maybe a data scientist, a data engineer in your field that you are looking up to. So you should try to check that person's. You should try to check his work, what he's doing currently, what he has done in the past. Then another thing, anything you do, you should have a digital footprint. You should have a digital footprint. Digital footprint. You analyze the data, you can talk about it. For example, let's say for the first project you do, you can just you can decide to write about it. Outline the step, you create a data frame. The first one you created it from a dictionary. The second one you created it from a list. So you can talk about that, how you go about the project from the beginning to the end, and you post it online with visualization, different plots. Then you should LinkedIn optimization. That's very, very important. Try to optimize your LinkedIn. If you have a LinkedIn, you should have a LinkedIn account. Your header section should be properly optimized. The summary part, then your education, then your certification. Try to optimize all those parts. Those are part of the thing that organizations, that's what they look at when they try to check someone on LinkedIn. And do not over exaggerate. For example, what you don't do, don't put it there that you do it. Then portfolio. As a data scientist, there are a lot of ways you can showcase your portfolio. One of them is GitHub. That's the essence of the project you are doing. You create a GitHub of your own, then you put your project online. Anytime someone asks you to share your portfolio, you just share the link if you have enough on your GitHub. And another thing you can do is show your Power BI. At the beginning of the program, I tried to show one of the dashboard I built on Power BI and Tableau. So those two, you can make use of those two platforms. Apart from GitHub, you can make use of those two platforms. So this is the Power BI. You can send the link to your Tableau, to your Power BI. You can send it to anyone. Then spread your work. Spread your work the same as your digital footprint. Anything you do, post it online, post it on your WhatsApp status, post it on your Facebook. Let people know that, oh, this is what you're into, this is what you're doing. No matter level, like no matter what level you are, even if you're a beginner, just try to talk about the things you're doing and be consistent. Consistency is very, very important. So these are some of the dashboard I built in Tableau. This is for one of the classes I took. Then I have the one for Power BI. What makes Power BI and what makes them very interesting is because they are interactive. You can click on different parts of the dashboard, and it will be changing along with whatever you select. So while we wait for that, when you see job application, okay, we are in need of a data scientist or data analyst that's as this. Most time, it is nearly impossible to see someone that meet up with all the requirements. For example, I sent one application to the group recently. They were asking about data warehouse, data something, MSSD. Me myself, like all those kind of things. I'm not. That would be my first time knowing about them. So once you find out that you meet up to about 70% of the requirement, just give it a shot. There's nothing bad in trying. Just try it out. When you see that you have at least you make 70%, you meet up with 70% of the requirements. Just try it out. So this is how Tableau dashboard. This is how it looks like. You can see the different. This is the CO2 production by region from year to year. This is from 1960 to 2010. Then you can select one of them. Then you can select more than one. Then you can fit out from this place. This is for the Power BI. This is more interactive. This is for the Power BI. This is, I forgot to say about the revenue in the United States. This is the sales offer projection and the percentage offer projection for the whole population. Then you can select a particular state, and you can see this. There are some of this region. Some of these states they are in green. They didn't meet up with the projection. this one they meet up they meet up the projection in and the range is very, very large. Then I select California now. You can see that every other thing on the map is changing, starting from the sales over projection. The percentage of our projection is almost 161%. Then we can see the states here, average of different. Then we can see that the part of the region is highlighted on the map. Then let me try and select another state, Alabama, red. You can see everything on the dashboard is changing. This is 732,000, then we have 62%, then we have the Alabama here, then we have the parts highlighted on the map of the United States. So that's the interactiveness of the Power BI and the Tableau for dashboard. You can see this as well. If you click on any one of them, it will try to change the details on the dashboard. So when you make sure you meet up to, if you meet up to 70% of the requirements, just try and apply. There's nothing bad in trying. Then how you should tailor, you should write your resume. Let me show you a sample resume. On a sample cover letter. So when you are writing your cover letter as well, there's no all-round resume like all-round that you send to all you use to apply for all roles. There's nothing like that. Try to tailor your resume to a particular application. For example, you want to apply for a machine learning engineer, and you have more work. You try to include more work that is related to machine learning. Then when you want to ask for another role, data analyst, try to include more of your work that is related to data analysis, like where you do visualization, where you try to build dashboard, where you try to answer some business problem. That's what you should include when you are talking about data analyst. Then when you are talking about some other things, try to include more of those things, of the things that are related to what you are applying to. Then you should always try to put a cover letter. Even if there are some organizations, they don't need to ask you for cover letter. They just ask you to send your resume maybe to an email address. It is good to always include a note or something like a cover letter here. I remember when I want to start the class, when I wanted to start, one of the questions is, do you have any other thing to talk or to say? So there are a lot. If that time I was like, I wanted to just admit the first 10 people. But that time I had a lot of responses from people. So these are one of the notes people left. I would really love to be in the class because it is part of what I've been hunting for a long time ago. Kudos to the behind this. Then another one, I'm looking for learning from you. I really want to have benefit of the class. I am enthusiastic and driving individual who gives our best in all our endeavors. So the essence of this is that even if I don't know these people, I don't know if what they are saying is actually true or not. But seeing what they have here, I can try to give them consideration. Oh, like this one is likely to be serious. Let me just try to admit this person. Although I later found out that the majority of them I have here, majority of them they are no more following the class. Only a few people are following the class. So the first part of your resume, you should have your address. You should have your address. You should have your contact, your phone contact, your email address, then a link to your portfolio. Let's say a GitHub repository. Then, if possible, include a link to your LinkedIn as well. Then after that, you should have a summary of, okay, I'm some social data analyst. I have social experience in this some like 2 lines, at maximum 2-3 lines is fine. Then you should have a kind of where you list your skills, all the packages you are good with, the libraries and the programming language you are good with. For example, this is my resume. So I have the name. Your name should be as bold as this and should be at the top of the page. Then you should have your phone number, your email address, then your GitHub page. Then you should have a summary which describe basically the year of experience you have and the kind of things you are into. Then you should have these skills. What tools, what language can you use? This is Python, R, SQL, and that. Then you can decide to put your education before work experience, and you can have your work experience before the education. Then in your certificate, this is just like a general. I try to alter this based on the application I'm using it for. So you shouldn't put all your certification there. Just put certification that are related to what you are applying for. Then for your work experience, to put work experience that are related to what you are applying for. Then your volunteer leadership and award, then you should list some of the projects you are working on. This is not a perfect resume, just a kind of guide to put you through like, what do I need to include. Then when you're writing cover letter as well, the first part of it should be kind of introduction. Okay. So the first paragraph should be, okay, I'm so person, this is what I do currently. Then you show your interest in the role. Then the next paragraph, you should start talking about your experience and some things. I use a paragraph to talk about one of your work experiences. You can use a paragraph to discuss what you did there and how you did it. Then another paragraph, use it to talk about another work, another experience that is related to the role you're applying to. Then on the last paragraph, just tell them, oh, I'm so. I'm passionate about this. Then I attached my CV for review, and I look forward to hearing from you or to speaking with you to talk more about my interest in the program. So I'm not saying this is a perfect cover letter as well, but just trying to include some of the things that the employer, some of the things they want to see in your resume. Try to include it in your resume. So you tailor them to a particular application. Then you don't wait till you meet up with the 100% of the requirements you have. Then I'll be talking about interview. So most interview these days they are online, even if it is a school, not even you are applying for a job, you are seeking admission. Most interview now they are online. So make sure your internet connection is fine. Then make sure your most of them they will ask to put on your camera. So make sure your background is good, okay, your face is shown clearly. Then just be calm and just be cheerful. Try to put on a smiling face. Then they will ask you, okay, what have you done? Can you tell us for the project you've worked on? Try to talk about the projects you did. Then based on what you just tell them, they are going to ask you some question based on the project. Then don't say no easily. If they are asking you question, don't try to even if you don't know the question, try to say something like you try to have an idea of what the question is all about. But if you still don't get it, assure them that you are going to find out about that and you get back to them if possible. Then at the end of the interview, you should note the point that you didn't get. So you should just, okay. For example, when I did one interview with Udacity recently, so I talked about my project where I predicted the price for gold based on some qualities. So I will now told the interviewer that I used a linear regression. So he first asked me about the assumption of linear regression, which is that there must be a linear relationship between the dependent variable and the independent variable. And another assumption is must have a straight line. So he asked me what are the like on what cases or under what circumstances would data logistic regression be like will not be applicable. So I didn't know that. I just told him that the data must follow a linear relationship. So he said I wasn't getting it. So he told me at the end of the interview that if the relationship is not straight, it's a curved relationship. Regression analysis will not work for that. So that's that about that. I want to share with you one of the interview I did recently. So once you apply for any role, the first time we see congratulations, you've been shortlisted for so. Once you get to that stage, the first stage that you've been shortlisted from the pool of applicants, that means you are almost there, you are qualified. All other things depend on your activities based on the subsequent interview and assessment. The first stage is an assessment based, like I was asked to take an online test. Then in the online test is divided into three parts. The test divided into three parts. Yes, it. So the test was divided into three parts. The first one is like question and answer or objective questions. What is this? How do you subset for a query? How do you find the mean median of a data set or of a column in a data set. Then the second part of it is, okay, the role of the role is a data analysis session lead, like just like a kind of mentorship and review program. You review student code and mentor students. So the second part is about, okay, write about your experience, whereby a student, you provide a very wrong solution to student. Then you now find out later that what you told the student is good. Then how do you approach such student and tell the student that's the correct answer? So that's the second part. The third part is to like what you are doing now, just upload a 5-minute session where you teach people online. And I was told to make it kind of interactive, to make it interactive also. To make it interactive, like as if people are with you, whereas you are the only one there. So this particular role, I didn't know where I applied and when I applied. I didn't know. So I got the message that once you get to this stage, like you clear the first stage of the application. So the subsequent stages will depend on your performance in the upcoming stages. So this is the first part. This is exercise. Then conversational skill and empathy while answering question. This is a case scenario. Then this is the 5 minutes teaching demo that I did. Then after that, I got another meet to the second stage. I think this is the second stage. So the second stage is technical question. They ask you a technical question about the role you are applying for. So the third stage is about situational assessment. Yeah, situational assessment. For example, let's say you are mentoring a group of students, let's say 50 students, and you find out that some of the students, they are not getting it, they are not following the program. So how do you deal with this situation? So I had 2 interviews plus the assessment, just like that's like three stages for the interview like that. Later, at the end of the day, I was selected. So I'm still on the currently I'm still on the training of trainers training. So that's onboarding program, whereby we introduce us to the micro degree. Then after that, we are intend to finish the micro degree before the program starts, so that we'll be able to provide full mentorship and training for the student when the program starts. So at the end of interview, they will ask you, do you have a question for us? It's always good to ask question. Don't tell the interviewer that I don't have question. I remember when I was doing this, the question I asked, okay, I know that the program is the data analyst. I've never taken the course before. Am I going to be given access to the course, or do I have access to the syllabus? So the interviewer told me that if I'm selected, I will have access to the course, but before that, if I'm not selected, that I can check out the syllabus on the platform, on the Udacity platform. So that was the question I asked. I asked one more question, but I can't remember for now. So I think that's what I have to say concerning this for today. If you have questions, 1 or 2 questions, based on what I just said. Hello. Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yes,
you.
we can.
I'm here. Oh.
Yes, I hear you.
Do we have questions? Before we go to the last part of the class,
What did you say, sir?
do we have any questions before we go to the last part of the class?
You can continue.
I can ask a question. Hello.
I can hear you.
Okay. So I was going to ask, I could not finish my project, and when I saw on the group chat, he said those that did not finish their project will not be given certificate. So I wanted to ask if I'm able to finish my project, can I still submit and get the certificate or not?
Yes, yes. So
I can.
this is the final project for the class, the capstone project. So the deadline for this project and the previous ones, that will be next week. Are we fine with that?
Did you say next week, sir?
Yes, we are fine with this.
Oh, God.
Next week, Sunday, midnight.
All right, thank you.
So this is what you're supposed to
Thank
do.
you so much.
We treated the data set already. It's the supermarket data set that we've worked with in our last class. So what we're just going to do here is after loading the data set, then you describe the data set.
You cover yourself. Come and sit here.
And you describe your data sets, dataset.info, dataset.describe, and to check for the first few rows. Then you check if there is missing values or not. Then you check for the unique values in your data set. Then if you want to rename your column, you know how to do that. Then the question is, these are the likely questions you can answer with your analysis. These questions the analysis is not limited to these questions. You can decide to add your own. So the first one, which city has the highest customers? You can use value count for that. Which gender is at the highest count? So you can use value count for that as well. What product has the highest sales? So there is a difference between highest sales and the most profit. For example, I can buy, let's say I buy 10 different products, one naira. That's 10 naira. Then someone else buy just one product, 100 naira. In terms of highest sales, the one in 10 places is higher than compared to the just one of 100 naira. But when we talk about the profits, definitely the one of 100 naira is more profitable than the 10 naira. So that's what I meant by the highest sales. There's a difference between highest sales and highest profits. What product was bought most by male? Then what product was bought most by female? Then which product has the highest average rating? Then who give the highest average rating, male or female? Which customer type dominates each city? For example, you check for city A, you check we have two different customers. I think we have the member and the normal customer. You check what percentage of normal customer do we have in city A, in branch B, then the same thing for branch C. Then we check for the month. You know how to extract the month of the year. Which month of the year has the highest sales? The highest sale is count, not profits. Then what month of the year has the highest gross income? The gross income now is about profits, not about the number of sales. Then who spend most on average, male or female? We talked about this in our last class. Then which hour of the day has the highest sales? Then you know how to extract the day from the date time. So you check, maybe people tend to buy more at midnight. Maybe people tend to buy more early in the morning or in the afternoon. Then what is the minimum quantity ever purchased? You check for the quantity. The quantity is a column. Then you check for the quantity. And what payment method is used most by each gender? Maybe female, maybe they prefer cash or ATM or transfer. What payment method is used most by each customer type? We have two customer types. We have the normal customer and the member customer. So you check the payment method, each of them use most. Then what is the average rating for each of the store? Okay, for let's say for store A, the average rating is 7.0, store B 5.0. Then the second to the last, what is the average rating for each product lines? You check for the cosmetics and beauty, you check for the average rating. Most of these questions you can answer them by making use of the U parameter in Seaborn plot. So what you do is just you create another folder in your repository, you name it capstone project. Then you upload your analysis, your notebook to the folder. So the deadline for this and the previous projects will be next week, Sunday. Do you understand the projects? Any problem? Any question?
No question for now, sir. It's looking plenty. Hey, okay.
You said what?
Question for now.
Okay. So someone is asking if you are still going to be having access to the Onyidamola, you want to ask a question? I can see your answer.
Oh no, I already asked my question, but then I just want to put this in. Can we like have access with the class materials? Like, do you really have to revoke access after a while?
You still have access up to this moment, but when I did the recording, most of them they expire automatically after a set period of time. The link.
Oh, I see.
As
So
I
like
put
we can always reach
no,
out to you anytime we need it and it has expired, right?
no, if you are working on a like on your project or on any data analysis project, you can always reach out. But concerning the link, I can still leave it, sure.
Thank you.
So this will be the end of the class. I'm going to send a form to us now.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank
God
you
bless
very
you.
much.
This class
Thank
has really
you.
been helpful. I'm very educated. God bless you. Thank you so much. We'll miss you. I'll miss you personally.
Thank you so much.
I think sure we can leave now.
Yeah, we can leave the chat. We can leave the call. I will send the link to us on WhatsApp for the
All right.
end of the class of a.
All right. Thank you, sir.